Hey everyone, this is Astrology once again, bringing you my continuing transit series on astrology.com and my blog website. I ask that you join me on this journey for a brighter day with Vedic astrology to guide you over the sea of life. Learn what may be happening with you or to you for the period February 21st to March 7th, 2022. I always ask that you visit my website, zedamostrology.com. My email, zeda55@outlook.com, awaits your questions, your queries. Vedic astrology on my website gives you patra readings, tarot spreads, runes, and it will help you for your chakras and crystals. Subscribe, share, sign up at zedamostrology.com. These slides give you a brief summary of the terminology that I use in my analysis throughout my videos on YouTube channel for the Vedic astrology, transits, and nakshatra series, and any other video that I may produce for you. It gives you, just a brief outline of how we as Vedic astrologers divide the sky into the signs or the rasis, which are the 12 zodiac signs, the nakshatras or stars, and in Vedic astrology we use 27 stars, sometimes 28, and the padas or the steps as we call them. And I have a little explanation on each of these terminology. The moon and the sun placement here is arbitrary. So we deal with the rasi or zodiac sign, we deal with the nakshatras, and then we deal with the padas. And it just explains to you what I speak about and what I mean when I use this terminology. So it's just a brief for your information and understanding. Once again, we come to the selection of the cards and the spread for the period February 21st to March 7th. And it just gives us that added enhancement or value, like an asset to the transit of the grahas for the period. And I try my best to do this alignment for you so that you can see the random selection. And the first card for the chakra wisdom is confusion. Confusion, and that chakra is aligned to the crown chakra or the Sahasrara chakra as we call it. So confusion is the first card from the chakra wisdom. And now we are going to look at the deity that will be guiding us for this period. And these cards are my nemesis. They are so big for my hands, but we move on, we deal with it, and let us see what our deity is, or who our deity is for this period. And it's Sri Vishnu. Sri Vishnu is our deity guiding us for this period. And Sri Vishnu is all about maintaining, sustaining the balance, coming to us when we need the most help, because we are waiting on the 10th incarnation or avatar of Lord Vishnu, who is Kalki, so that he always comes to us in our greatest times of need. So confusion, okay, let's see what is the house that we are looking at now, and that house is the second house, the second bhava. The second bhava is all about family, all about wealth, all about your speech, what comes out of your mouth. So are we confused? And the element is water, so it's a lot about something deep, something emotional, something that may be overflowing, something that is hidden, because water has many depths. So let us look at those cards, and then when we look at the transit of the grahas, we may understand a little more. The planet or the graha that we can focus on, or should be focusing on for this period, will be, let's see, and that planet is Venus. My goodness, Venus. Okay, so luxury, beauty, the arts, enjoyment, pleasures, karma, all the pleasures that we have at our disposal in life, all the pleasures that may come to us during this period. Are we confused about them? Are we confused about why they're coming to us? Or is it that Sri Vishnu is maintaining them for us? Should we not be emotional about it, And should we speak about it or not? Is it our time now to have a good time? Is it that this is the end of some kind of trouble for us, some kind of issue that has been dragging on, that beauty is now coming into our lives, pleasure is now visiting us, but we're confused. Why are we confused? So we'll see. Sahasraha is the crown chakra aligned to the confusion card, and that crown chakra, it's all about your intellect, your intuition. So let's see what is happening here. And now we have, well, me and my tetractors spread. So the first card here is Judgment. Judgment, the foundation or premise of this. Judgment. The next card is Page of Cups. Page of Cups. The third card is the Fool. Interesting. Two cards that we have no control over. The next card is the Two of Pentacles. Choices. But choices of we maybe not seeing it. Then the Page of Wands. Page of Wands. Our next external card, Strength. Strength. So we have a lot of external forces that we can't do anything about. Again, next one, Hermit. Hermit. My goodness. All right. Again, Lovers. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards so far that are out of our grasp, out of our control. Then we have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups. And final card is the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles. So that's our spread for this week. That's our tarot alignment for the transit of the grahas for this period, and let us see what it brings us. Okay, here we have the transit of the grahas again, and we have Ketu and Rahu here giving a Kal Sarpa Yoga or the Kal Amrita Yoga, where I explained in my previous videos. Moon moves very quickly, so although Moon is here on the 21st of February, outside of that squeeze that is coming, we still look at it as Vedic astrologers, we look at it as Kal Amrita Yoga, where you're more spiritual minded. It's not going to affect your material resources. It's going to affect you and your beliefs and how you look at Bhagwan and how you treat your faith, or what are your hopes and fears. And we have Mars this period as your Atma Karaka. So your Atma Karaka this period is that, what it is you're wishing for. You're wishing for your hard work to pay off. Mars is with Venus, and remember, one of the cards that we chose was Venus. Venus came out as the planet that we are looking at this week, and Venus is here with Mars. And look at this. Venus is your Amatya Karaka, and that means that for you to get your desire, Venus will be the vehicle for you to get that. And they are both in Sagittarius. They are both there looking, actually one on top of the other, that is 26 and 27 degrees Sagittarius. They are both there. And Venus and Mars, it's all about, fighting for what you want, your passion, your aggression. And Venus is all about luxuries, beauty, what you want in life, the pleasures that you want in life. And how are they going to act together? They are in the house of Jupiter in Sagittarius. Jupiter owns Sagittarius. And Mars and Venus are not friendly. So it's going to be a bit chaotic. You have fought for some things, but Venus wants to give you that beauty now. And Mars is going to say, yes, we fought for it, but do I really want to give you that? I don't like you. What is going on here? So we'll sort it out. We'll see how we can deal with it. And probably that's where the confusion comes in. Because at the end of the day, we have the confusion card on the chakra, the Sahasrara chakra to deal with. So let us see what this Kal Amrita Yoga is going to bring for us, what the conjunction between Venus and Mars is going to happen. And that is a planetary war, if I recall correctly, because, it's just 1 degree apart. So that we have the Atmakaraka and the Amatyakaraka at war. So, is it what our soul desires? Are we going to get it? Are we not going to get it? This might be the confusion that is happening for us for this period, February 21st to March 7th, 2022. Here we have the card Confusion on the Wisdom Chakra selection, and it's aligned to the crown or Sahasrara Chakra, as I said. And confusion, you would think that you'll be confused, you don't know what to do, but the meaning of this card actually says that, every silver lining has a cloud. Or we will put it another way, every cloud has a silver lining. But no, in this way, this is the confusion, that every silver lining has a cloud. And the keywords here is clarity, support, revelation. We see that the cloud is embracing the woman in this picture, in this confusion. So what is she confused about? Is she confused about the choice that she made, or does she know that she has to go further or let go of things? It is all about, your reaching somewhere, your journey, that you make a journey that you don't realize that you have to make or want to make. And this is the confusion. You are taking that step, but you really don't know where you're going. But there is support for you, confusion, there is support for you. And the second house, we're talking about the resources. What is the resources that we have with us for this period? And this second house is all about material resources. What is your self-created resources, and what motivate you to create, and what is the property you have, what is the education, what is the communication, how do you speak, and you get what you need. But you have to patiently wait for what you want. And water is there, and water as the element tells us that, it's all about riding the current. It can wash away the negativities in life. It can make everything feel fresh and new. Bring the quality of water to a situation by opening your heart, speaking the truth with kindness and compassion, encouraging connections, because the flow of water can go through anything. Water finds the smallest crack to pass through, to make a pathway, so that it can be cleansing, it can be healing. It moves gently or it moves swiftly. And what is this water going to do for you? And right now, as we spoke about the planetary war with the transit of the grahas, Mercury sorry, not Mercury, Mars and Venus are at war, and Venus may very well win that war, because, she's at that degree that will give her that oomph. And he's also in that, that nakshatra that is owned by him. Venus is in Purva Ashada nakshatra, because he's at 26 degrees in Sagittarius, and that is Purva Ashada, and that is a Venus-owned nakshatra. So Venus also has the added ability to be more comfortable in Sagittarius rather than Mars, even though Jupiter is both their friends. So we need to look at all those things and understand that, where is your second house? Where is this confusion coming from? In our transit of grahas, the ascendant is in Aquarius with Jupiter and Sun. But is that your first house or your second house? Where is your second house that these cards are going to impact on you for this period? And here we have Venus and Sri Vishnu, and we spoke about Venus, quite a bit in the transit of the grahas. And Venus, known also as Chakra, is all about the poetry, the psychology, sexuality, creativity, and it's a Rajas nature that will give us, the good times, that will have us look at the beauty and the art and the charms around us. It will give us all the pleasures from what we want, our karma, that pleasures in life that we are looking for. And Venus is there in a planetary war. But Sri Vishnu is also the maintainer of the universe. And Sri Vishnu as a deity is going to guide us, give us that illumination of the heart, achieving all success in life. the true reverence of life. And remember, we also have the Amrita Yoga with Ketu and Rahu coming in that line to draw all the planets to the left of it, that they are going to be in the mouth of Rahu just now. But Sri Vishnu is here illuminating that spiritual guidance that we need to practice for this period, that we need to have, prayers, have faith, have hope, that the beauties and those things that we cherish and enjoy will always be with us. He will maintain that balance between good and bad. He will maintain that balance between evil and brightness, the blessings of the devas and of the gods, because he doesn't want to see anything destroyed. He is there to keep us from being destroyed. As I said, we are waiting on his 10th avatar, Kalki, that when, the world is at its lowest and at its weakest, before it can be destroyed, he's going to come riding in on his white horse to save us. And this is the message, that he's there. He's there. Hold on, because he's there to maintain the universe. He's there to look after the welfare of you and your family. And he's going to give you that balance so that, yes, you will have bad times, but you will also have good times. And good times may come to you for this period. That is the message that Sri Vishnu is sending with Venus, with water, with the second house, and with confusion for us for this period. Okay, we come to the card, the Judgment card, and when a Judgment card appears in a reading, it can suggest that you have reached a crossroads, as it were, in your life, and you must exercise clarity of judgment as to how you proceed and which direction to take. And remember, we also have the Confusion card. That confusion is about clarity, it's about support, it's about a revelation, it's about the silver lining having a cloud in it. And this is the crossroads that, we can be talking about here. If in doubt, review your past experiences and actions taken and what was their outcome to determine which worked out best for you. So, how did you behave, or what decision did you take that brought you to the current situation? So those are the things that you have to review when the Judgment card comes, because Judgment is here. Judgment also represents, the courts, the legal system, the judges, the jury, and that you may be awaiting the final judgment in your case, However, you must be sure that you have told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as any attempts to lie or deceive the Almighty will be uncovered. It is a time for owning up and confessing if you have done wrong. You will gain much respect for it and may be given another chance. There may be consequences to your actions, of course. You can't be taking a wrong decision that may have been hurting somebody else or that may be against the law of your land and expect to be rewarded for it. You will gain respect for admitting you're wrong, and you may be given another chance. You will feel relieved that a heavy burden can be taken off your chest, as we say, that has been lifted off your conscience, that you are no longer, in purgatory, as we see. In a general context, the Judgment card can indicate that you or someone you care about are being judged too harshly by others. So that, probably that is what the second house is also about, the second bhava, where it's all about speech, it's all about your resources. Are you judging people by what their outer shell is looking at, or are you looking at their inner beauty? Because the Kal Amrita Yoga for this period tells us that we have to look at the spiritual side of anything, of persons, of actions, of thoughts, of what we want to see. So that, you need to indicate that you might be making snap judgments that you don't have all the information for, and probably that's where the confusion is coming in, because you're not making the best decision because you don't have all the facts. So Judgment is there. Judgment is telling us, be careful of how we judge people, because we are also going to be judged. It is here, the card is here to tell us that the outcome, whether it will work in our favor or not. Okay, here we have the cosmic forces that reacts to your state of being and the cosmic forces that are guiding you. And these are the cards, the Page of Cups and the Fool. And the Page of Cups is, the cosmic reaction to your state of being. And it tells you to be optimistic. There is sharing. It's giving and not receiving. It also deals with the Hindu sign of the union of the male and the female. It's divinity, so divine. Have some faith. It is also talking about Venus, about joy. The Page of Cups is about growth and rebirth. And the Fool, the forces that are guiding you, is a new beginning. Take that chance. Take that journey. The sun and the moon is there for you. Step off on that cliff that you have been living on for the longest while. Abundance is there for you. Be joyful in your choices. Be innocent in what you do and what you say and how you react to people. Don't be judgmental. The forces are there for you. It's guiding you. It's giving you optimism. It's giving you joy. It's giving you abundance. It's giving you new beginnings. It's telling you take that step. So these are the cosmic forces that will help you, with the sun and the moon, the mother and the father there, the dark and the light, giving you that hope, that faith, that spiritual guidance to move on, because you have it all. You have it all this week or this period, and you need to take those chances, make those choices, because this is what the cosmic forces is telling you. It's guiding you and it's supporting you. We have the destroyer, sustainer, and creator energies that are coming in this tetractys reading. And in the destroyer position, we have the Two of Pentacles. And what needs to be removed for us to move forward is what this card is telling us. And the Two of Pentacles is all about choices. What are the choices we are making that we are not seeing the, the reaction or the impact that it has? It's all about financial decisions. It's kept us on our toes. We have been juggling with our finances, but money is coming and going. As soon as we get it, it's gone. So that is the financial stress and the mood fluctuations that we have. We have a lot of paperwork in our lives at this point in time, so that we have to move on from that financial mess. We have to move on from that imbalance. We are spreading ourselves and our finances thin, and those are the choices that we have to make. But we have to look down and not only look up. We have to look behind us also. The ships are sailing there. Are we going to get on those ships? Are we going to hustle, or are we going to turn our backs on it? The ship is taking us on a new journey, on a new life. The Fool that we have just gone through is telling us, it's new beginnings, it's choices again. The Kal Amrita Yoga is telling us that spirituality is there. We have to have hope, we have to have faith that we are going to have, money transfers. The financial stress is not going to be there. We are not going to be juggling our finances again. Saturn is the Graha of this card, and Saturn is in his own house right now in Capricorn, and he has moved to Dhanishta Nakshatra. And Dhanishta is about, the drums and the symphony. So what is the music that we are making in our lives? What is the music that we want to hear? Do we want to hear loud music, gentle music like the flow of the water? What is it we wanted to learn? And then we have the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands, we talked about, at the end of the day, the Page of Wands is all about us being curious, us being courageous, us being brave, what action we are going to take. We have to be enthusiastic, we have to be studious, but there's also fun and playfulness is there, because while we have the stuff in our hands that we're going to take action, while all the colors of royalty is there, the birds are there singing too, and we need to listen, because that talks about the symphony. And Saturn tells us that, he's in the Nishta right now, the star of symphony. And let us understand that while we are working hard, while we have to take action, we also have to take the time to judge ourselves, that we need to do something for ourselves. We need to listen to the music. We need to listen to nature. and that is the sustainer, what helps you maintain a balanced life. And Sri Vishnu was one of the cards that we pulled. Remember, so we have to work hard, but we also have to play. We also have to take time for ourselves. We don't have to judge others. Judge ourselves, but don't be too harsh about judging ourselves. And what drives you in this new direction? The Creator, Lord Brahma, the card of strength is what drives you. Your strength from yourself, from your faith, from your hope, from Bhagwan is what drives you for this period. And that is the spirituality that comes through in the transit of the grahas. It is there for us to see, it keeps coming back to us through the cards. So the cards are adding that value, that asset. It is enhancing the spiritual nature of your journey for this period, February 21st to March 7th. Believe in God. If you haven't connected to God in a long time, reconnect with Him. Reconnect with Him in any way that you please. You don't have to go to the temple, the mosque, or the church to reconnect with Him. Close your eyes and just view yourself in front of Him, that this light is in front of you and you are talking to your God in whatever form or fashion that you believe in. Reconnect with Bhagwan for this period. That seems to be the message that is coming through so far in the cards and in the transit of the grahas for the period. We are now into the material world of the tetractys spread for the period February 21st to March 7th. And we have the Hermit in the Earth position where we cope with everyday life. And what does the Hermit do? The Hermit isolates himself and meditates. He meditates on his spirituality, on his connection to God, and it comes back again. This is how we cope with everyday life. It again speaks to the spiritual pathway that we have to take for this period, that our reconnection to God through the isolation, through meditation, through yoga, through us taking some time for ourselves is how we are going to cope with everyday life. The message cannot be clearer than this. We have seen it through and through, from the transit of the grahas with the Kalamrita Yoga, through to the journey with the Fool, with the Page of Cups, with the Two of Pentacles, with strength. We are on that spiritual path, or we should be on that spiritual path to cope with everyday life. Where we are exploring our emotions, we have the Lovers. And the Lover speaks to partnerships, to, networking, to you being with someone, you understanding that at the end of the day, you need some kind of support from family, from friends, from probably your work colleagues. You need to take that step where you join, where you have a union. And the Page of Cups spoke about the union of the male and the female, that symbol that is there in the Page of Cups, the Hindu symbol. So that again, it speaks to the union of what we need to do to hold on to the material resources. And in the Lovers card, we have them, naked there with the tree of knowledge and the tree of life behind them, so that we have the knowledge, we have life. There are family obligations that we have. Our happiness and energies come from us being around family. So that is how we explore our emotions, through family, through friends, through community, through our partners. And then, our current strategies and thoughts are given through in the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is all about celebration. It's all about us being happy, us being at peace, us sharing, us having goodwill and kindness. We being cared for, we have emotional security, we are contented, our sanctuary, our fortress is there, because our parents are there with us, our family is there supporting us. We are just there with our cups being full and not being spilled. So that is our current strategies and thoughts, because we have gone on our spiritual path with the Hermit to cope. We understand that the Lovers card tells us that family, friends, and community is where we at, and how we explore emotions by sharing. And now the Six of Cups is telling us, you know, celebrate the blessings. It's simple things in life that make us happy. And then the Ten of Pentacles is there. The Ten of Pentacles is all about our resources again. You know, our resources in terms of what we have worked for, what we have learned, what we have shared with our strong investments, the solid foundations that we are made. And that is our creative force, our will, our ambition that has brought us here in this material world with the fire, you know, in our minds, with the Page of Wands there telling us, yes, you have created a foundation, you have the luxury and the comfort. Venus is there, you know, cards this week. Venus is there with Mars as a Matya Karaka, so that is how we are going to get our soul desires, through Venus. And the Ten of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, the Lovers, they're telling us that the material resources are there. We have done the work, we have been given the results of our hard work. You know, our family is going to be with us. We're going to have the material resources, the business, the solid foundation, the security, the protection, all the financial rewards and the materialistic things that we seek to give us pleasures will be there for us in this period. Enjoy it. And we come to the end of the period where we see the movement of some grahas, where we have Venus and Mars here moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn to join Saturn. And Venus and Mars are still at planetary war because they're still together at 7 degrees Capricorn, so that, you know, that chaotic feeling, that confusion is still going to be with us. Saturn is at 26 Capricorn and is the Amatya Karaka for March 7th, so that our desires are going to come through our hard work. And then we have Mercury here moving on to Aquarius to join Jupiter and Sun. And Jupiter is still combust because Sun is at 23 Aquarius and Jupiter is at 22 Aquarius. So Jupiter is combust, and you know, the guidance that we might be receiving from tutors or the lectures that we might be hearing, or any of the teachings that might be coming our way, we need to look at it. Judgment is there, and we don't need to judge too harshly when we first read or see something, because our knowledge, our guidance is not at its best at this point in time, so that we need to be careful. The Judgment card tells us that we need to be careful. Rahu and Ketu is still there, giving us that Kalamrita Yoga. Moon, well, we don't really look at moon, as I say, because moon moves every 2.5 days, so you know, you just can't keep track of that, because you feel different every time, or every 2.5 days. So moon is there, but moon is moving, and we have these combustions, we have these stelliums that we call, you know, where three planets are there together. And we have Venus, Mars and Saturn here. We have Jupiter, Sun and Mercury with the ascendant in Aquarius. So that we have some real chaotic times. We have our passion, our aggression fighting for us to get all those beauty, luxurious items in our lives. But the cards tells us that, you know, it's a fight that Venus may win. He may very well win, because we pulled Venus as the card, and then the luxuries that we want is through our spiritual healing, through our spiritual pathway, that the Hermit is guiding us to, you know, isolate ourselves for a little while. Don't judge ourselves harshly. Take that spiritual path. The Strength card is there telling us that is what will be our creative force. The Page of Wands is there for our, you know, sustaining and guiding us. You know, so let us understand that the cards are aligned to the Graha's movement, and that let us take this time before Jupiter or Sun moves into the mouth of Rahu, that let us take this time, the spiritual path that God is sending to us, and understand that we have to work. We have done the work. As we always say, we are there to be judged, because Saturn is the karma, the lord of karma, the judge. You know, he judges us, he delays, he provides obstacles at times for us to learn, but he does not deny. And with Venus and Mars sitting there, you know, he's going to judge us. He's going to be the judge of what we can receive as our rewards. What is our karma? You know, what is our karma? And Venus is a friend of Saturn, so Venus is very comfortable there. Mars shares a neutral relationship, but Mars is also in Capricorn, and in Capricorn, Mars is exalted, so that at the end of the day, we need to look at Mars being exalted. So the action here, you know, is going to be twofold. Our passion for the beauties and the luxuries in life is going to be twofold. So let us understand that to gain those luxuries, to gain that wealth from the second bhava, to gain those creativity from the arts and the beauties around us and the pleasures in life that we want, it's all about judging. It's all about judgment. It's all about the karma that we created, the karma that we have inherited, and the karma that we have to pay in this life. And the transit of the grahas tells you that the spiritual path is what you have to take for this period. As always, I, you know, bring Bhagwan and thank Bhagwan for allowing me to produce this video. But, you know, I'd like to bring two things to your attention for at least this period, because the Judgment card really spoke to me personally this week. And, you know, at the end of the day, I align the transit of the grahas through Vedic astrology with the tarot cards, which is basically a Western medium for predictions and for reading of your kundali or your horoscope. And the lesson that, you know, I learned in the diversified cultural background that I grew up in tells me that, you know, you have to accept people for what they are and who they are. You don't know their stories. You don't know what they have done to reach where they are. You don't know the trials or tribulations. You don't know what their story is. So don't judge. Don't judge, and accept people for who they are. And it also tells us that, you know, joining tarot and the Vedic astrology through the transit of the grahas and the planets gives us the idea that we can coexist, that we can live together, that we can share, that there is enough resources in this world for all of us. So let us not, you know, be greedy. Let us not be judgmental. Let us not use our strength in a negative way. Let us be the hermit. Let us isolate ourselves and judge ourselves first before we judge others. And this is something, you know, that I want to bring to you. And I also tell you in, you know, previous videos that I don't do a specific reading for a zodiac sign or a bhava, because at the end of the day, I don't have your information, you know, and I am very clear on that. These readings are general, and I am not one to tell you what I don't know. And if I don't know your information, I cannot be specific to you. So these are general as to what may be happening in the universe for this period, what the messages of God or Bhagwan might be for you and me. But it is not specific to you. You know, if it resonates with you, I am so glad and happy. But it is not specific to you. And the only way that you can get your reading and how it impacts you is through your report. You know, so that, again, you know, I do not do specific zodiac signs. I do not do specific bhavas, because it is all contingent upon your information. Everybody is different. So I will not be that person who will not be clear, concise, or complete in my reporting to you, or the messages that are going to be sent to you through me. So that those are the messages that I want to give you this period, and I hope it resonates with you. And I always thank Bhagwan for his blessings, for giving me the resources to put this out to you, and I hope that I can see you next time. Please visit my website at zidamastrology.com, subscribe, share, sign up, and request your report to get your reading. Thank you very much for viewing and for sticking with me to the end. Goodbye.